Hello, good people. It's Rob Lee. First of all, I want to say thank you for all of you who have been incredibly compassionate about what's been going on in me and my wife's life and our animal passing away. I appreciate it, man. I truly do. I really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you, Annie, and thank you, Kate, for the gifts that you made. Incredibly kind of you, man. Really. I appreciate it. And it won't be forgotten. And both of you will be in my prayers, I promise. Thank you. This video is about deception. And what prompted this video was getting up this morning at 4 a.m. as usual, and I wanted to continue to work on my direct energy weapon little series that I was putting together because it's important. Far more important than what most people really understand. And when I got up, I had noticed, and remember, because I'm censored, I don't get notifications all the time. So sometimes I actually have to scroll through. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I actually have to just scroll through. And I was able to get one from Vivian this morning, and it led me, just by accident, but nothing's really by accident, is it? And it led me to look at some other stuff. And I came across a video, not a video of mine, but a sister whom I think highly of. And I'm not going to get into calling any names or anything, but a sister that I think highly of had left a bunch of links to some videos. And people have been leaving a lot of links, man. They send me emails, links. That's okay. Some of the links are actually good. Most of them are not, because most of YouTube is lies. So I clicked on the link and I went over to it and I looked, and it took about 15 seconds for me to realize that this was a serpent. This was a liar. His comic blast or something, it was about dimensions and Chinese, and then he was selling shirts and he was making money, and he had 500,000 views because he's not censored, because this person works for Google. But then I noticed Raymond Fall's comment. You see, Raymond he's a good brother, one of my favorites, and he was a little bit confused by it, because that's what the video was meant to do, was confuse him, confuse anybody who's still learning. And this is what pissed me off, and it prompted me to make this video. You see, people have reached a point at this point, people will believe anything. And we've reached the point that most people will tell you, well, I mean, I know the media lies, but then they'll go to Google and everything that Google says is true. It's even reached the point now that you can, 7 out of 10 people, if you ask them something, this will be their reply. Google it. Google it. That's where we're at now. Google it. Now think about the power that people have given the evil of this world. Just Google it. That's all you got to do, man. Just Google it. And then you must be able to get the answer if you just Google it. You take this picture here, and this was 10 years ago. People actually believe things like this, man. Even now, they believe it. This hoax up in Minnesota, I had a guy cuss me out the other day. He cussed me every name in the book, and I don't care about being cussed out. You can come outside my door and cuss me. As long as I can't hear you, I don't care. Cuss me out. The Minnesota hoax, blah, 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 it was real. It's real because the media told him that it was real, you see. And because the media tells him that it's real, he believes it, because in his mind and in his spirit, he is a stunted spirit. He will believe anything that he's told. If his mind and heart will allow him to digest it, take it in, he runs it through his filter. Some people simply don't have a filter. He runs it through his filter, and he believes it. This is the truth. Now, who owns the media? The banks do. The banks own everything. And if you don't know this, man, you really don't know what time it is. They own everything. Who owns the banks? The serpents do. The most evil, wretched bastards on this earth, the seen and unseen, because there are some that are unseen, and this is who pushes the ones that are actually seen. Now, you get to social media. And there's no difference, you see, in social media than mainstream media. In fact, social media is even more dangerous because there's so many more venues. The internet, man, I mean, you're talking about billions of sites, billions of pages. I mean, it's billions, trillion. I mean, it's unlimited, man. All right? So what happens? Well, now you have given the serpent a far bigger playing field than the mainstream media. And the serpent is going to take advantage of this. He's going to use this, what we call the World Wide Web, right? 666. And he's going to use this to control, to confuse as many poor souls as he possibly can. And this is what I want to talk to you about, because many of you are in prison. You're in a spiritual prison and you don't understand it. So you take somebody who's in prison and you cut the light out. Then you cut the light back on, and they'll think that they're not as much as they were in prison. Oh, there's a little bit of light. They're still in prison. It's like somebody that's on a farm. You take an animal and you put it in a corral, and they jump the corral. Well, they're still on the same farm. They just left the corral. To truly be free, you have to really, and I'm not talking about half-ass. You got to really have the type of relationship with Jesus Christ that He won't let you be misled. He won't allow you to go looking to be misled, because see, that's what some of you do. You go searching to be misled. It's not that the devil brings it to you. You take of your own initiative. You want to go and be misled. Let me give you an example. Here's a word for you: deep state. Now, up until a couple years ago, nobody was talking about no deep state. It's a word that was made up by the serpents, and they put it on Facebook, Twitter, social media, and they push it. Shadow government. You see, they take these little catchphrases and they put them on social media and they push it. They can do this with anything that they want, and they can make you believe it. The social media serpents, it works like the stock market. It's about trends. That's what it's really about, trends. It goes up, down, what they want you to believe, what they want you to buy, and then they'll bring it back down. This is what they do, back and forth, but they're never going to show you what's really important and what's really the truth, the whole truth. So right now, the hottest thing is Bitcoin. That's a clever little 13, isn't it? Have you guys, I'm sure some of you have looked at Bitcoin. You have noticed that that's a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, CC for 33, right? And Bitcoin is 23, half of the 46. All right. And you notice the I, right? You guys got that, right? And it's robots and artificial intelligence. This is the hottest thing, and dimensions and all kinds of stuff that takes people away from being grounded and being centered in the word of the Almighty Father, and it takes them away. Confuses them, because that's exactly what it does, and it takes them away from the truth of what's really more important. And who owns all this? The banks, right? All right. So this video, I looked at it and I saw, okay, all right. And it angered me. It didn't anger, pardon me, it didn't anger me at the person. I think highly of her. She's one of my favorite people. But I love you, sister. And by now you know that I'm talking to you. You're a YouTuber. And this is where you and I have always differed. Not only do we have some theological differences, but which I've always been able to get past, but you're a YouTuber. I'm not. That means I don't go surfing and looking. I mean, if I go to a channel, when I get something in my mail and I see they've got 800,000 views and they're selling me shirts, I immediately know they're not of Jesus Christ. Leave. I go. You see, I don't see that as truth. I can't. You see, this is how I operate. So please, people, no more links to channels that serve the devil. No channels that sell t-shirts and put people in a trance with music. No more links to channels that confuse people. No more links to channels that serve mammon and not Jesus Christ. I don't mind links. Robert Gantry gave me a great link the other day about what was going on in South Africa. Michelle Desikoff, I can't say your name, hon, I'm sorry. She gave me a great link the other day. There's nothing wrong with some links. Some links are really good. In April of 2017, Google started a wide censorship of all legit truth channels. All right, and this picked up steam in about May of last year, and this is really powerful. And they've been adding on more people. The algorithms are getting stronger. What they're going to do is quash all legit truth channels. So what you're going to have is a bunch of channels that work for Google. This is the idea, and they're going to get rid of the people that really tell the truth. If you go to a channel and they're not being censored, they're not telling the truth, they work for the system. This is how I started busting codes. I mean, because I would get these things in my email, and I was like, man, there is so many, and I'm not talking about just with videos, I'm talking about with websites. So many articles, and articles of just lie after lie after lie after lie, video makers, lie after lie, and people taking upon their own initiative to go and seek the lie. They go and seek the lie. I'm going to get to this in just a minute. I just want to finish. So if a channel has 500,000 views and ads, they work for Google. They don't serve Jesus Christ, man. They confuse you, and they leave you with fear, doubts, and they give you the false illusion that you know the truth. So you see, they serve you up a nice big plate of poison. You see, I don't claim to know it all. I never have. This is a little bitty lowly channel to glorify my Father and help a few people find the truth. That's it, man. If I wanted to change my channel's name, shut down everything and start all over, I could make money hand over fist, man. I could become huge. Trust me. Oh God, trust me. You could take the biggest channel there is, and if I wanted to give up my soul and say, no, Jesus, I don't want you no more, brother, trust me, I got the talent. I could rule this son of a bitch. It would be easy pickings. Easy pickings. It would be easy pickings with what I know to harm the people and feed them bullshit. But I simply could never do that. I can't do it. It's not how I'm made. Let's go further. I don't know it all, people. There's some good people on YouTube. Listen to me. There's some really good people. If a channel is from the Father, then it has to be from God. And that means that God will use that channel to teach people the truth. That's why I've always told you I'll go up against any other channel. Not because I think that I know it all, because I have so much faith in my Father that if anybody wants to debate me, go up against me, that my Father His Spirit will come through me, and I will drag them into the light, and I will drown them symbolically. I'll take them to the deep water and drown them. Not because I'm somebody special, but because my Father will see that it happens. Nobody's taken me up on my offer yet. If any YouTube channel has not been shown the truth about the enemy among us, they've not graduated, and they probably will not ever graduate it. Therefore, I don't care about videos that are about dimensions, sleep tools, bitcoins, robots, GoBots, Legos, AI, and all other forms of deception and meaningless entertainment. I simply don't care. It does nothing to glorify my Father. It only confuses people. I acknowledge, man, that these subjects are real, but they are hardly worth the attention that so many people give them. And you got to be spiritually stunted to watch them and believe that you have garnered some sort of special knowledge. AI has been around for a long time, man. I mean, and people act like it's something new. Cryptocurrency, they've been talking about this since the 80s. Currency, the market crash. This is old, man. It's not new. People are selling out for 30 pieces of silver. Let me ask you something. Why not leave links? If you want to leave some links and help the people, and I'm not talking just to this particular sister because I love this sister. She's one of my favorite. Why not leave links about the missing children? How about the children that are kidnapped every single day? Leave some links about that. If you want to leave some links, you really want to help, do that. How about some links about when the devil's children starved millions of innocent children in the Ukraine in the 1930s? How about some links about that? How about some links about 9/11? One of the grossest lies ever forced on the American people, and it's slowly starting to fade into the background. One of the grossest and most evil lies ever forced on the people. How about some links about the handicapped and the disabled, about how that we might help them? How about some links about subjects like drug use, smoking, of how so many of our people are hooked on dope and cigarettes and they're killing themselves? What about some links about that? But see, it's not entertaining. Those kind of subjects are not, they don't entertain you. They don't amuse you, right? When you watch them, it makes you feel kind of bad. And you're like, damn, you start to see yourself a little bit, and you don't like doing that. You want to see something else that makes you feel like, look at what I'm watching, dimensions and the Chinese, and horse shit, man. Horse shit. It makes me sick. How about the people in homeless shelters? You do realize, I know many of you are, you have it better than some. This is the way it is. It's always been like this. It always will. Many of your brothers and sisters are struggling more than they ever have in this country. Many families are living in homeless shelters. No links. No links, huh? What about links to Jesus Christ? This is the one that pisses me off the most. You know, if I took all the links I got in a month, there might be only one or two about Jesus Christ. That's it. What about no links about abortion, about all the everyday, the thousands and thousands of babies that are murdered? No links. What about any links to online deception? Well, you can't very well send me a link to online deception if you're being deceived yourself. Now, can you? What about the children in this country that are going hungry? I've seen no links, man. I've seen no links. What about links to the bankers? None. No, not a one. What about a link to the way the temperature is going up and down, up and down? Nothing. I mean, not a link one about what's really going on with the weather. Not a one. How about a link to this little guy right here? He's going to be vaccinated, from the time he's born until the time he goes to school all throughout his life. But they'll start killing him when he's little. Then he'll go to school and he'll be taught to hate himself. He'll be taught to hate himself because of whom he is. How come no links to that? I told you before, when they shut you up, that's when you know the tribulation's about ready to start. It ain't got a damn thing to do with AI, robots, GoBots, Lego bots, none of that. That's bullshit. So many of you, you're chasing something, and I'm going to explain to you why you're chasing it. And if it pisses you off, I've never begged none of you to be here. I've never begged one person to be here, and I've never taken 1 cent from any of you. When they tell you that you can't talk, that's your cue that bad things are coming. And you don't need AI, robot, or Bitcoin to tell you that. When you can't talk, that's when you know. What about no links about smart meters? Have you noticed the things that they're creeping around people's homes all across the country, apartment buildings, and installing smart meters? What do you think they're really there for? Because they want to help you with your power bill, right? That they want to be able to monitor it better. You really don't believe that, do you? You do understand that it's far more sinister. What about police, law enforcement, the military? You do realize that your police has become a military now. There's no such thing as law enforcement. There's just military. Why no links about that? None. Why no links about laser weapons and the land grab by Obama before he left office? You see, they're trying to destroy your land and seize the land so you can have no place to go. But they want you paying attention to AI, and the robot's going to have a baby, and the robot became a citizen. The devil is so slick at what he does. No, I'm not going to give the son of a bitch credit for anything, but I will say he's good at what he does because he is the master of deception. That's what he does, man. So why no links? That they're destroying your land, and Obama seized up all this land because they want to surround you, just as the Bible said, surround you, because Jacob will be surrounded. And no, I'm not talking about the people over in the state called Israel. I'm talking about the people called Israel, that you will be surrounded and you won't have no place to go. This is biblical. Let's go forward. They want to surround you, so they destroy the land, take the land so you can have no place to go. This is the truth. This is the truth. So why no links to these subjects, people? None. Why no links about hoaxes? You do realize that 90% of everything that you see on the media is a lie. The shootings, the stabbings, the stories, they are made up. Made up. Most of them are CGI and done with crisis actors. Why? I mean, let me tell you why. Because most folks still want to be entertained. They want to be entertained. They love to be amused. This is the truth. People can say, well, I don't watch TV. I love hearing this from people. No, I don't watch TV. But they go and spend 7, 8, 10, 12 hours watching YouTube and Google, but they don't watch TV. I got you, man. I got you. It makes all kinds of sense. You see, the people love being entertained because the truth is this. There's not enough of Jesus Christ in them to remove them from being entertained. And people like to lie to themselves. It's one thing to lie to another person, but people like to lie to themselves. No, I'm not like that. I'm not under a delusion. If you're under a delusion from the Almighty Father, you ain't going to know it. You won't know it until you come out of it. Do you understand? You won't know it until you come out of it. Hebrews 11:6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Yahweh is not on YouTube. Isaiah 66:4 and 2 Thessalonians 11:12. And this is talking about the delusions that the Almighty Father will send. And he will bring their fears upon them. And he will send them a strong delusion that they may believe the lie. And he says it twice. Why did he send this delusion that people may believe the lie? And people eat it up now. Because when he called them, they didn't answer. He called, you didn't answer. So he says, look, I'm going to let you go ahead, and I'm going to let you have your lie. Eat it up. Go on YouTube and surf day and night. Get all the lies you can, because that's what's happening. And eventually you will become spiritually sick. Not counting the spells that are actually cast on you. And most people don't realize the witchcraft that goes on YouTube. I've seen it in videos when I first got on YouTube, people doing it with voice inflections, music, objects, putting spells on people, and then people not believing it or not understanding how it really works, man. Too spiritually blind to see it, but yet they don't mind saying the name Jesus. Again, entertainment. You see, the people need to be entertained. They have to have it. They love to be entertained. Well, people come and go, and my channel is small. It's just a little channel. If I wanted to have a big channel, Father has given me the intelligence, I could have a huge channel, but it wouldn't be for him. It would be the antithesis of him. People come and go, and Father is removing people from this channel and bringing other people to it. He is doing the same in my personal life. People that I have befriended on YouTube, he's removing and he's bringing in new people. I've gave it to him. It's his will, not mine. Now, I want to show you something far more tangible and realistic to your future. However, I don't want you to fret. I don't want you to fear, for your Father is always in total control. In the next video, and I've been working on it for 2 weeks now, I'm going to talk to you about direct energy weapons, the fires that happen, not only in California, but it's around the world. It's not just California, and what's really going on and what this really means, because brothers and sisters, this is how they're going to round us up. It ain't going to be with the robot that's going to have a baby. It ain't going to be with AI. It ain't going to be with Bitcoin. It's going to be with direct energy weapons. That's how they're going to round our asses up and put us in prison and try to harm us. I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. I appreciate it. Forgive me. I hope none of you thinks that I've been too harsh or I've judged. I haven't judged any of you. None of you. I will say this to you. Take the key and leave your prison cell. There's nothing worse than seeing people sit in prison when they don't have to, because you have the key. Simply open up the damn door and leave. Take care. God bless you all in the name of Jesus Christ.